Upgrades. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review. Today, I'm excited about this. We are reviewing the latest entry in one of the longest running horror movie franchises there is. And this one is VHS Halloween. And here's a quick synopsis, which is the synopsis for every VHS movie. A collection of Halloween-themed videotapes unleashes a series of twisted, blood-soaked tales, trick or treating into a struggle for survival. And here are the names of these films, because that's the most important part, because these are all mini films into one big film. We have Diaplasma, which is an ongoing narrative throughout the whole film. The next film is Coochie Coochie Coo. The next film is an Mandarin or Italian film, but the translation for the title is As Above, So Below. And we have Fun Size, Kid Print, and Home Hunt. And Diaplasma is directed by Bryan Ferguson. Fun Size is directed by Casper Kelly. Home Hunt is directed by Michelle Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman. Kid Print is directed by Alex Ross Perry. As Above, So Below is directed by Paco Plaza, and Coochie Coochie Coo is directed by Anna, I think that's Zlokovic. I think I'm saying it right, Anna Zlokovic. I'll say this, first things first about Halloween, VHS Halloween. I'm a huge fan of the VHS series. The last couple of years have not been the best. It's been very hit or miss, especially last year was extremely hit or miss. I think only 2 of the short films to me were even interesting into watching. VHS Halloween is quite possibly the best entry into the VHS series. This is the first time I've ever seen a VHS film where all of the shorts are absolutely amazing. All of these are pulled off into levels what I was not expecting. From even the beginning of it, when we get to Coochie Coochie Coo right after the Diaplasma, which the Diaplasma setup is just funny throughout the entire thing. It's literally a setup of the people coming in to drink something, and then everything goes haywire. And it's just a running thing through the course of the entire film. It is very funny, very entertaining that you get to that. But the moment you get to Coochie Coochie Coo, which could be my favorite entry into this series, that's just this 2 young girls who are trick-or-treating and go to a haunted house, and then all chaos breaks loose as kids warn them ahead of time about this mother who comes out there and snatches people who are too old to be trick-or-treating. The setup is funny. Once you get into the crux of the horror and they get into this house, it becomes something amazing. And I think that's the case for majority of all these setups here. From that, then you get to As Above, As Below. And it's such a more cerebral approach to a horror short. And its setup and payoff are absolutely amazing. Like, you just can't say enough about the way a lot of these films move and how a lot of these things work. And I think, hold on, let me go back to it, because again, there's so many of them. Fun Size is quite possibly the most fun you're going to have. And I know it's odd, but it's called Fun Size. It's literally a bunch of friends who go to this haunted house where you have to pick candy, and the bucket tells you pick one piece of candy. Pick more than one piece of candy, something bad's going to happen. And all of them do that. And then we get off into a tangent on everything that's happening. It is gross what happens there, but it is so much fun. And I think that is the running theme of VHS Halloween, is that it's such a mixture of comedic horror with straight horror, with gory horror, with every suspenseful at times. Like, all of these shorts fit perfectly into what this film wants it to be. And that's something that doesn't happen a lot. Kid print is the sickest thing humanly possible here. As it all starts off with kids taking videos before Halloween for ID purposes. And then it goes to a very sick place. That is possibly the sickest entry into this year's stuff. And then once you get to Home Hunt, which is, to me, the perfect conclusion to what you get out of VHS Halloween. Home Hunt is more of a mixture of all elements of the comedic elements at times and the overtly gross for certain people and very suspenseful elements of VHS Halloween. I think, again, when you have such a talented group of directors as they have this year with it, and this feels like the first year that we got a running theme throughout all the films, and it fit perfectly into that theme. Normally, again, it's a little haywire and it gets a little loose as it feels like the directors have more of a playground to play with. But here it felt like these films were selected purposely for these Halloween themed type of interactions. And I think that is the best creative way to do a film like Halloween, VHS Halloween, is to have that running theme going throughout of it and that diaplasma again. Once you start off with comedy and then you can interject the survival horror aspects that we get also with Coochie Coochie Coo at the beginning. And then you get to then reinvent or go back to the fun element along with the diaplasma of fun size. Like all of those elements work wonders with this film. I can't say enough of this about how entertaining this film is. This is quite possibly the most entertaining horror film this year. It never misses. And you don't get that. And it's such a mixture of talented directors and talented films here that still, again, have a running theme throughout. So it just doesn't feel like you're just watching a random group of films together. And I think over the last couple of years, that's been my issue with the VHS films, that it just felt like a random group of films. And it didn't all feel like the films were even produced well or directed well enough to be included into a VHS entry. But here with VHS Halloween, this is perfect of a VHS movie. Like you can't do this any better. And I think after the last couple of years, I didn't think this would be possible for them. But this film pulls it off perfectly. Like this became, to me, the quintessential VHS film. Like out of this series that's been going on, I want to say since 2012. Like if you were to tell people what film to watch in this series, it would be VHS Halloween. This film is outstanding. But VHS Halloween, which is currently available on Shudder or AMC Plus, if you have AMC Plus, out of a possible 10, I'm going to give VHS Halloween a 9.5 out of 10. I came so close to giving this movie a 10 out of 10. But a 9.5 out of 10 is rightfully so. As above, so below is not as strong as the other films in the series, but it's still really, really good. Still really, really good, just not as strong. And it can, for some people, it can feel out of place a little bit. Granted, to me, it still runs the constant theme of the series, of this set of films. It runs what it should run in the series of these type of films. But for a lot of people, especially, again, because it is more of a foreign language short, I think it's going to throw a lot of people off here. But if you are looking for a horror film to watch during the Halloween season, this has to be high on your list, at least top 2. And I don't mean 2 on your list to watch. This is the perfect VHS film, but not only is it a perfect VHS film in a year that we've had some extremely good entries into the horror market. I think this is one of the best horror films released this year, and I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. Even if this is your first VHS film, I think you're going to absolutely love VHS Halloween. But check it out. Let us know what you think. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.